a very brief talk about eSIMs because I wanted to learn about them myself. And then someone here that's not here today, Joanne, she knew all about them. She uses them when she's travelling. Welcome, come in, sit down. So this talk on eSIMs should be very, very short. Basically it's everything I know, which is not very much. This one's called a travel eSIM. Now what I did find out, which is probably irrelevant to this talk, is that you can get eSIMs for Australia to replace your Telstra or whatever you've got. That's another eSIM talk. I didn't know you could do that, so you could have your own subscription to eSIMs and work anywhere in Australia. That could be handy. I don't know if it's going to be good or not, but that's another talk. This is just for travelling, this eSIM one. So we're going to look at why do we need an eSIM? Who's gone overseas and put a real physical SIM in their card when they go somewhere? So that's messy and it works, but then you've got to change your number and everything like that, but it does work. This one, nearly every phone that probably you've got today has got an eSIM in it. You didn't know that maybe, but I'll show you the models that have got eSIMs and you'll probably recognise your phone. Things you want to do with a phone when you go overseas: internet access, looking up points of interest or restaurants or whatever. Google Maps we always use when we go overseas because you never know where you are, you get lost. So this eSIM will work in data mode, looking at all these things: Google, internet. You know when you take photographs and you come back home and it tells you, oh, this was at Trafalgar Square or something like that. That's done because you've got the data turned on. If you didn't have a SIM at all, say you're in airplane mode, you wouldn't get any of that data. You wouldn't know where the photo was from. So that's a handy thing to have an eSIM because it records the location of where you're at. There's a fancy name for it, but I can't think of it at the moment.
Where do you put it?
It's in the phone already. You don't put it anywhere.
Okay, it's an app.
It's not an app. That's the other thing. It's not an app. I thought it was an app too. So you're thinking like I used to, but now I've come to realise it's actually a physical thing in your phone. It's part of your phone. Photo, contacting people. When we go to Canada this year, my nephew lives in Vancouver. Now, I need to tell him we're here, so I'll send him a message and he can reply to messages. You can communicate with other forms like WhatsApp. I don't use WhatsApp. You could probably do FaceTime. And obviously the social media things you can do with this. So that's very handy to communicate with people that you want to meet over there. And also, I just realised this morning I added finances. You know, if you want to check you've got enough money on your card or something like that, you don't want to do it where? On a public Wi-Fi. Yeah. So with this one, it's just like having your own phone connection. So it's all completely secure. So you can top up your finances and transfer money and check things and all that. So that's handy to have too. All good. Now I looked up one which was recommended by many people called Simify, and that's where we're going to have a look at. There are other ones that you can look at. Simify, I'll show you. I don't know if I've got it there. There was somewhere that shows you all the countries. There's a lot of countries in the world that Simify looks at, but I'm specifically focusing on Canada, and because we're going to Alaska. So we'll be looking at frequently asked questions, tells you what the thing is, gives you answers, and I'll show you what phones are supported, and some data plans, just to give a rough idea of the price of these things. And I've got a video that I made because it's very hard to show setups on your phone on the screen. It doesn't want to do that for some reason. I don't know what it is, but so I've videoed the setup from my phone of how to get started with these things. So you'll see that at the end of this little presentation at the website, which hopefully will work. Here we go. So this is, I'll just come back to that, prices, ads, all sorts of things, and go down to frequently asked questions, because that was the best thing, and there's the phones. So first of all, what is an eSIM and how do they work? An eSIM is a digital SIM that's built into your device, eliminating the need for a physical SIM card. So that's really all you need to know. We'll check the device's compatibility in a minute. You can check if your phone's in there, and then it comes with instructions on how to install your eSIM, get it started, and as it says at the bottom, no more swapping SIMs anymore. It's or hunting for Wi-Fi, because it's all there for you. There's a few other questions you can look at. I'm not going to cover all of them. Who are travel eSIMs for? For people who travel. If I'm not tech savvy, how will this work? Hopefully it'll work. Reasons for getting an eSIM. buying an eSIM offers simplicity, savings, flexibility. You skip the hunt for physical. Last time we went overseas, we went to the airport, bought a SIM, installed the SIM, and away we went. And so you don't have to do that anymore. And the data plan that you opt for when you set up your eSIM is what you're going to get over there. Data plan, 20 gig, 30 gig, that sort of thing. And seamless navigation, instant social media updates, and convenience of making last minute bookings on the go. There's all sorts of answers. When should I buy my eSIM? Well, they are saying 6 months, up to 6 months before you go, and the eSIM will still be valid when you get there. I haven't got mine yet because I'm wondering if my phone's going to die before May when we go, and I might need a new phone. And I don't want to put an eSIM on there and have to buy another eSIM. So I haven't put it on yet, but you can put it on up to 6 months before. And how much data do you need? Well, you never know. If you're uploading lots of photographs to the cloud, then you probably need lots of data. Just for general use, I would say they reckon up to 10 gig. I think I'm going to get 20, I'm not sure yet, but I'll see how we go. Now, the only thing it doesn't say here, which I couldn't find written down, but I did discover the answer to, is that you don't get a physical phone number. So what you have to do is just use the data versions of calling people. Like you can call them through FaceTime, call them through WhatsApp. So you don't actually get a physical phone number. You're using your email addresses to call them up, and that should work okay. I'm hoping. I'll tell you when I come back from Canada. That should work okay. And there's another thing you have to do though to make sure you don't incur costs on your Australian provider, is you've got to turn off your phone number from messages. I'll show you how to, I've got a video that shows you how to do that. So, because otherwise you get over there and you're messaging, it's seeing the phone number and it's going straight to Telstra and you're getting charged a lot. So you just turn off the phone number and just use messages using your email address. What else was I going to show you? Just the data plans. So from 7 days, right at the bottom there, for 5 gig, it's $25, which works out $3.57 a day. I'll probably go just for the 10 gig because that's it gets a bit expensive after that. For 30 days. So we're there for, how long were we there for? About
30 days.
About that long. We're going on the Alaska cruise, which when you're out in the sea you can't use it anyway, but when you get off in the ports in Alaska, it should still work because that's part of the US. So hopefully, crossing our fingers, that should work all right. And there's lots of great tips on this Simify website. Buy in advance, enjoy 5G, really fast internet, save time and money, wide coverage works. And if you look at some of the reviews for Simify, people are saying it's the best coverage in Canada and hopefully the USA too. But it's not so important to us. But Canada's got very good coverage with Simify. So that's that one. And lastly, what phones have you got at home in your pocket? Here we go, Apple. Now, I've got an Apple 12 and it goes back, an iPhone 12, it goes back to goes back to 12XS. You'll notice down there, anything newer than 12 is fine. So if you've got a Samsung, which a lot of people have in this room, I've quickly summarised what says there. It looks like it starts at S20 and goes up to S24. Does that ring a bell? I don't know what that means with Samsung.
Was a new one.
That makes sense to you? So lots of different phones up there which will work, have an eSIM in it.
Sorry guys, sorry to interrupt you.
It's being recorded, so everything you say goes on the film.
There's a white laser, a white Mazda 323 in this car park. Does anyone own that?
Yes.
No? Okay.
Yeah, Merle does. You'll have to move it, they're painting the lines. Sorry about that, I'll have to edit that now.
Sorry about that.
Damn. Anyway.
You get painted white otherwise.
Yeah, that's right. What else was I going to show you? I've lost my track now, lost my train of thought and everything. Oh, I was going to show you those videos. Now, I'll come back to that screen if there's any questions at the end, but I'll just show you the setup videos that I made, which should be in photos here. So, first thing first, every phone has a settings, so and this might look foreign to you if you haven't got an iPhone, but every phone does have a settings somewhere or other, so that's what I'm pressing, settings, and you'll have to go through your own Androids or Samsungs to see how this works, but settings, then you go to where it says mobile, which is your access to Telstra, etc. Sorry, my finger's in the wrong place. I changed hands in the next video. So you go down to add eSIM. It says add eSIM there. And then it spins around for a little while. and comes up with use QR code. When you buy the eSIM service that I've showed you, it'll give you a QR code, which will then hopefully I'll hit that, scan that, everything will be installed. That's about all there is to installing it. Very simple, as long as you can find those things on your phone. So, do you want me to review that one again for you, just so you can check it all out? So, settings, look for mobile, and then somewhere down the bottom there is add eSIM. Add eSIM.
I've got convert to eSIM.
Okay, yeah. Well, mine's an older version, so it could be slightly different wording. Use the QR code, and I don't know if you want to transfer from. If I buy a new phone, I can do transfer from nearby iPhone. I've just worked that out. Ah, thank you. And that's how that works. And then the only thing that I need to remember when I get to Vancouver Airport, so that I can contact my nephew, is go to messages in your settings. So find messages in your settings somewhere, wherever that is. They're left-handed now, it's easier. Messages, and then where it says send and receive messages, it's got my mobile number at the top. Turn that off, you get a message to say and turn off any new messages from. So then it's just got email addresses. You should probably only have one. I've got too many email addresses. You should just have one email address. So I'll show you that one again, when that's finished. Oh look, I'm still showing you. Messages. So review that. Go to messages, because it was a bit quick. Sorry about that. You've got to go to send and receive messages and turn off the mobile number. Now, I did that during the week because I was making this video, and you sent me a message and I didn't get it. Even though I turned it back on again, I had to restart the phone to actually get. So that's
took you so long.
another thing they recommend is once you've done all that, restart your phone, and it'll work properly. So you turn off the phone number from messages, and that's about all there is to it.